In today's video, we're talking with Craig. Craig is 46 years old and he's learning how to code. I've done an interview before about a year ago, but a lot of things have happened. This video gets, there's a part where there might be some cutting of onions in the video, but you have to understand what he's gone through, and he's still going and he's making it work. So age is not an issue if you're trying to learn to code, and Craig is proof of that. And if you're interested in getting to know Craig more after this video, you can go check out his channel, Craig Wadding, and I put all his contact details in a comment below. So be sure to check that out. I hope you guys enjoy the video, and I'll see you in the next one. We did a video like a year ago, and you were starting to learn code, self-taught, and you know, what happened? How's it been since then? Give us the update.
Let's see when this all started. I was off for about 5 weeks. I had surgery on my hands, decided to sign up for online school. So I tried the online college thing for about 6 months, and I attempted the self-taught route. I was pretty convinced, I still am, that you can learn what you need to know online. But somewhere in there, I kind of got lost. I was working full-time for the phone company. I would get distracted a lot. I would order courses and living vicariously through the fact that I spent $12 on a course. I still have a library full of Udemy courses that I haven't even started. It sounded really good at the time when I ordered them. But yeah, I didn't really know what to do next to fill in the gaps of what I had learned and what I felt like I was going to need to know to get a job. And opinions are like, everybody's got an opinion. So when you did ask for any advice, you'd get 100 different recommendations of what to learn, where to go next, stuff like that. So I got to a point where I started thinking about, would bootcamp work for me? I started checking into it, and I thought, maybe I could do this. Maybe I could do a part-time boot camp. I checked into Lambda. I was pretty interested in Lambda. I took their assessment. I talked to them. I basically was enrolled for Lambda part-time. In November of 2018, last year, my mom passed away. I felt like I didn't want to stay in Findlay. It's a smaller town, maybe 30,000 people. I thought if I was going to go this route, I wanted to move to the city, be around, more technology and things where there was actually more meetup. There wasn't a whole lot of that going on where I was before. Yeah, I met my sisters, and this is one of the spare bedrooms I've got set up for, like my office, computer room, whatever. So the problem I was having was finding a job where I could know that I'll be off work on time to get home and be in front of the computer those hours. And the end result was I couldn't find anything that would do that. A couple little speed bumps along the way, and was able to get enrolled, and I started Flatiron part-time in May. First month and a half wasn't bad. Everything was kind of going as planned. It's a 10-month course, so every 2 months there's a project. I was trying to get that project started, and then my brother went into the hospital to have surgery. I don't know if this ever happened to you or anybody that's maybe watching this, but when you go to check your phone and you see missed phone calls from like everyone in the family, and no voicemails, no text messages, all within like 4 minutes time, the crap's hit the fan. Like, something has happened. When he was in recovery or something happened. And then I saw that I did have one voicemail, so I checked it, and it was the police department. But when I called my sister, the first thing she said in a choked up voice was, "Your dad." And as soon as she said "your dad," I knew what had happened. On July 3rd, the day after my brother had the surgery, the next day his nurse came in for her visit and found him that morning. He had passed in his sleep sometime the night before. So it was like this realization all of a sudden that life has just ended a major chapter of your life, and those people are gone. Whatever you said to him, the last thing you said to him, people are always like, make sure you call your mom, make sure you hug your mom, tell your mom you love you. When I got back home from dealing with my dad's stuff, it was just like I was just so mentally exhausted, man. The idea of sitting at my computer and bringing up Visual Studio Code, I was at this point behind on my schoolwork for the part-time program. Everyone I dealt with at Flatiron was nothing but great about it. They were going to work with me on getting caught up, but it wasn't a matter of just me coming back and hitting the books and getting caught up. Man, mentally I was just nothing, and I just felt like, how am I going to mentally be able to finish this and then still be behind and still be behind and still be behind? So I thought about dropping out altogether, and I just felt like I've come so far to get to this point. I can't just quit. I'm going to be 47 next month. They say you're never too old, but come on, 47, how many redos do I have? Somewhere along the way, I missed the fact that there was a full-time online course that's 5 months. So I got to thinking about it, and I thought, well, if I could start over at the beginning and do full-time, could I live for 5 months on what I have put away and just focus, put my head down and focus and start over and get this done in 5 months? I went into my job and I said, look, this school is important to me. I'm tired of not finishing what I start. I dropped out of high school. I went to DeVry years ago for like 1 semester. I want to finish what I start, and I got to get the school done. The owner was nice enough to allow me to work 2 days a week. So now I'm working Mondays and Tuesdays at my job, and that gives me Wednesday through Sunday to work on full time. And between that money and the money I had set aside, I have enough to pay my bills. You have to have a plan, and you have to have a plan that is flexible. Life's going to throw you some curveballs. You have to be willing to reevaluate the situation and see what it's going to take to get to your goal, because nobody said life was easy. And if learning to code was easy, more people would be doing it. You guys that are developers right now wouldn't be making any money because everybody would be doing it, right? So, I wish I had had a better plan at the beginning, but I didn't know things were going to turn out the way they did. But I feel like I was able to salvage.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think that your age is holding you back while learning? Do you ever think like, I don't understand this because I'm older? Or do you ever have those thoughts, or are you just like, this is just difficult because it'd be difficult no matter what?
I don't know what the scenario is for a teenager in high school anymore. The curriculum at a boot camp, is it similar to the way they're teaching in school now? I don't know. I'm not a teenager. I'm not a high school student. I'm not a teacher. Maybe it's a little easier when you're younger because you're coming right off of that kind of learning from school. Because to sit down at a computer and work on labs and watch videos and try to problem solve by yourself is nothing like anything we had in school when I was in school. We had textbooks for everything. Teacher had a chalkboard with chalk, but I feel like there's less distractions at my age. Whereas if I was 23 years old, I'd probably have friends calling, wanting to go drink, and having a less active lifestyle because of my age. I'm okay with not going out all the time. Don't get me wrong, I still have plenty of things pulling me away from the attention I need to spend on my schoolwork. There's still plenty of stuff to watch on TV and sports and your phone and apps and Netflix. And
pull some motivation out for me. I'm gonna need motivational Craig. Yeah, whatever this is. Just Mr. Krabs. We're just raising it. Anyways, I see the question all the time in the comments here. Like, do you think I'm too old? Like, does ageism scare you? I don't think it does.
No, I don't think it does, because I think there's going to be younger people that assume that an older person can't do this. But there's also plenty of companies out there that appreciate a 35, 40, 45-year-old who has been in the world and has worked life experience. You can say all you want about how you're not supposed to discriminate against age, but we all know it does happen. But my point being is, a lot of people go to these companies, get these jobs, and they only stay there for a couple of years, 2-3 years. They jump ship, go to something that pays more. If you're 50 years old, you're thinking about, you don't want to be a whatever anymore. Start with the free stuff, check it out, see if you didn't like it. If you like it, you may be like me and feel like this is what you were meant to do. There's nothing to say that within 6 months, 8 months, a year, you could be doing it for a living.
Are you happy with the decision that you've made so far? Like, you've put so much time and effort and have had such a hard road.
It's the small victories. You have to take the small victories. 2 steps forward and 1 step back is still a step forward. Take your small victories when you get them. Give yourself a pat on the back when you finish something, when you complete something, when something works, when you figure out a problem. Don't take it for granted, and don't be afraid to look in your rearview mirror and see where you used to be. Everybody needs some kind of motivation to keep going, There's nothing wrong with comparing yourself to yourself. What were you doing 2 weeks ago? How were you compared to that 2 months ago? 3-4 months ago, did you even know what coding was? And look at you now, you're actually writing code, you're running stuff, and it's actually doing something. Take those small victories and build off of them. If you get stuck, everybody gets stuck. Correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't there entire departments of people that work at companies that go in to fix other people's code? So there's people out there making a living writing code, and there's other people out there making a living fixing their code, right? So there's a lot to it. It's an ever evolving industry. So there's going to be mix-ups and mess-ups and things. If you're not breaking code and figuring out how to fix it, then you're you're awful lucky, or you're not doing it right.
So you're the wizard. You're representing the older community now of learning the code. Yeah, you're the Ruby wizard. So how can they find you?
A little pointy hat.
Exactly. How do they find you? How do they ask you questions?
You can email me. You can find me on Twitter. You can go to my YouTube channel. You can find me on Grindreel Discord, craig.watting@gmail. Craig Watting on YouTube. If you search Craig Watting, you'll find me. I am more than happy to answer any questions or help anybody I can. Very encouraging for me when I get an email from a stranger that thanks me for that they found my channel. A really nice thing when you're just some dude out here trying to figure out how to do this.
You're just some dude. See, you said it.
I'm just a dude pretending to be a dude dressed like another dude or whatever.
Exactly.